Hello good people of YouTube, Z24 over here, and this time we are gonna review Z24, a sister ship to the Z23. Now, I did some quick run to her history, and I think this is well described history to the German destroyer Z24, and I'm gonna read the following. Z24 was one of 15 Type 1936A destroyers built for the Kriegsmarine during World War II. Completed in 1940, the ship spent the first half of the war in Norwegian waters. She was very active in attacking the Arctic convoys ferrying war materials to the Soviet Union in 1941 and 1942, but only helped to sink one Allied ship herself. After being rearmed in late 1942, Z24 was transferred to France, where she spent 1943 escorting Axis blockade runners through the Bay of Biscay and played a minor role in the Battle of the Bay of Biscay at the end of the year. After the Allied landings in Normandy on 6 June 1944, she was one of the few remaining destroyers in French waters and was badly damaged during the Battle of Ushant several days later. After repairs had been completed in early August, the ship was damaged by Allied fighter bombers in mid-August. Another attack later in the month by fighter bombers sank Z24. Now that was a quick run about the ship herself. Now how is her stats in game? Because she is Z23's sister ship, they have similar amount of stats, almost like copied each other, just like Sanho's sisters. The only difference, however, is torpedoes, and of course some degree in the stats, something like, let me read it here again so I can get it correctly. 24 has 43 speed, while 23 has 65 luck, but our guest here has 56. And also she has less anti-submarine armament, or is this a anti-submarine warfare stats is also lesser compared to the Nimi, which is Nimi has, excuse me if my mistake, because Nimi has a retrofit, I make mistake. Nimi has 204. But if you retrofit, she gets 224. And our 24 has same amount, 204, and anti-submarine warfare. Oh, and also, it seems that Nimi has higher torpedo thanks to her retrofit, but they are highly very similar to each other. In a quick run log over here on the stats, so I'm gonna drop a screenshot right here how similar they are. Now let's take a look at her overall log and design. I have to take fast log before I make this video, and I have to say she is very fascinating design. Actually, well made design. There is nothing much going on, very gothic perhaps. She's aiming to be vampire perhaps too. But other than that, thanks to her design, I have to admit, she is very well made. Now as for her skin, she has 3. Festival going Fiend, Devil on the Court, and of course Blood Red Dance Beneath the Moon. Each of them is actually very well made, so applause to the artist. Now, as for her armament, I have to say, I'm gonna take this wiki in my next second screen. Indeed, her DD-Light Cruiser main gun, she has only one main gun. She has 2 torpedoes slots, with just only 120% efficiency, which is very low for a destroyer. And her anti-air gun, well, 75% efficiency, and only one anti-air gun. Did I also mention that she has 160% efficiency to her main gun? Other than that, she is very well balanced towards to be a main gun destroyer. Now for her skills. First off is defensive, which is Boon of Crimson Darkness. Okay, that's interesting. Increases this ship's damage against destroyers and light cruisers by 15%. Once per battle, when the HP of one of your jet-class destroyers, excluding this ship, falls below 30%. Decreases that ship damage taken by 30% and increases this ship firepower, torpedo and reload by 50% until the end of battle. Now we have offensive skill, which is Fiendish Rampage. At the start of the battle, and every 20 seconds after that, fires a special barrage. Damage is based on the skill's level. Whenever this ship sinks an enemy, increases this ship firepower and torpedo by 4% until the end of the battle. Can be stacked up to 5 times. This must be historical related. Then we have All Out Assault. Activates every 10 times the main guns are fired. And the All Out Assault is very simple. And also, there's nothing else to it. Very simple AP barrage. Now, as usually I would like to do background footage, but because I am running low on oils, all I can do now is just recommending the fleet and giving my opinions about how she played out. Because she is sister ship to the Nimi, and we have very decent amount destroyers in the Iron Blood. Thanks to the Jet 1 and 28 was it, she can get some very decent buffs and good buffs. But on the other hand, because she has decreased evasion, I think is on the play. And also the luck also takes on the play too. She has, what I can remember in my past experience, sometimes difficult times to survive. And because she has 2 very low anti-air, I highly recommend that do not take her to somewhere where it requires to have lots of anti-air. Keep her away from those places. If you go beyond, like chapter 14, where it's then required to have lots of anti-air, no, don't take her there. What she is good though is actually punishing destroyers and light cruisers. And with that, I actually recommend giving her equipment that can actually deal some very nice damage against these ship types. Like example, if you have Felix Schultz's main gun, prototype twin 150mm TPT SK, Z42T main gun mount, which has a very special skill. When equipped by destroyer, increases all weapons damage modifiers against all armor types by 15%. And this seems to make a lot of damage against light armor enemies. And now that we have torpedoes too, like we have on Iris Lipray, it can deal some very interesting damage against light armor and medium armor enemies too. Which is what I recommend giving this armament to the Z24. And with this, 2 armaments, and yes, I know my auxiliary is a little bit questionable. Yes, she is a destroyer. I gave her Type 93 pure oxygen torpedo from the Zakoran Empire. And then we have, if you are a new player, you may not have this one, but RPG Adventure Interface grants strange power during battle, which is very sad because this does not explain what these powers are, but it does give HP. Now 24 does not have the augment module, but it's only a matter of time and fan support when she gets one. And perhaps data, or what is the base they actually give this. Now for the fleet, I would actually recommend using Z24. I'm gonna drop screenshots right here. Z1 is a must. Yes, it does give nice buff to our girl here. But also do not forget Z28, who also gives buffs to all Ironblood destroyers. And her herself to boot. What I have problem, however, is that her skill, which is Fiendish Rampage, this part. Whenever this ship sinks an enemy, increases this ship firepower and torpedo by 4% until the end of battle, can be stacked up to 5 times. Personally, if that is like entire, shall we say, this can be stacked to every battle, not just one battle. It would be very nice buff to her. Because there will be some moments where she cannot get this buff completed or not. But I do find interesting is her Boon of Crimson Darkness. Once per battle, when the HP of one of your jet class DDs falls below 30%, but excluding this ship, decreases that ship's damage taken by 30% and increases this ship's firepower torpedo reel by 15% until the end of battle. I am not sure does this stack to the next battle too, but if it does, then that is fine. But because I am lacking of oil, I have no details how this actually works. Other than that, she is available in exchange and on the merit shop. And she first time appeared in the Inverted Ortent event. Other than that, she is suitable just in the maps like, I'm not sure it's Operation Siren 2, but shall we say in War Archives. That's one place where she can shine. And also these special events that occasionally happens time to time. But in main campaign, she suffers a lot. Other than that, she is actually very well made ship against light armor enemies. But if you have her, do give her a try. I think she might be a very interesting ship against light armor enemies and so on and so forth. That's all I'm about to say about Z24. What are your thoughts about her? Leave comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.